This is American Dumpster Fire.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the American Dumpster Fire. The world just keeps getting better.
Does it?
That was sarcasm.
Oh, okay, because I was going to say I missed something then.
I just had a sarcasm.
I was going to say you're being rather hopeful.
Well, I mean, there's one hopefulness, but then I don't have much hopefulness for that hopefulness coming to fruition. So we all know the impeachment this week.
Well, I don't know if we all know. I hope we all know.
Okay, well, if you don't know,
Wednesday,
Trump was technically impeached
8:52 p.m.
by the House.
Eastern Standard Time. I'm not celebrating at all, not in the least.
Well,
It's
because
just not going to do
we all
anything.
know that Mitch McConnell is going to obstruct the whole process because he's a fucking traitor.
I think all of the Republicans will obstruct the process when it gets to the Senate.
Because they are fucking traitors.
So here's the thing I didn't quite realize, but was spelled out while I was watching it live. Accidentally. I was, binge watching, and then, boom, this was on. So I was captivated for like 45 minutes watching this. Anyway.
I can't watch this train wreck anymore.
Oh, God. It was in slow motion. It really was. They called a vote. They had 15 minutes. They took 25. They had 5 minutes, and then it was like 8. You could see Pelosi losing her mind. She was
Tulsi Gabbard's there, standing there with her Gucci hat because she's a fucking douchebag.
Oh, we'll get into all those. Yeah. So it was 8:52, 8:53, something like that, Eastern Standard Time, right about then. And, the second charge goes down. So the first charge was... Wow.
Abuse of power?
Yes, thank you. And the second was obstruction of their investigation.
Yes.
Oh, God. And they only needed 214 because they didn't have a full turnout, which, unless there's illness, I do not understand it at all.
Wait, what was the second charge?
Rich people are lazy. But go ahead.
But these are our representatives. This is a huge event, and we didn't have full turnout. I don't understand that. So it's supposed to be 216. They lowered it to 214 to be representative, 2/3 or whatever. And that was the pass, and they had like 230.
What did you say the second charge was?
Like
I missed that part.
Obstruction of Congress investigation, something
Oh,
like
right.
that effect.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah. In the meantime, in a side panel, on the left side of my screen, Trump was giving a speech preempting all this, where he was talking about how awesome he was, how great the economy was, how it didn't even feel like he was being impeached, whatever that means.
Because he's a fucking muppet.
And the whole time I'm watching this all go down, and the audio's up on the right channel, and he's guilty on both charges. And there's no one flagging him down. There's no cue cards. He has a teleprompter you can see on the edge of the screen. No one updates it. And he just keeps talking. And at 9 o'clock, they go, well, back to normal programming. We wasted enough time on this crap.
But I know he uses a teleprompter regularly, and he's denied it a few times, but I know for a fact he does.
Oh, no, you could see it on the screen.
And he still sounds like fucking word salad. Like...
I'm not sure he can read very well.
Like you just tossed alphabet soup into a blender, and that's what he says. I mean, it's insane. It's just like... Maybe he should fire his writers.
I was going to say somewhere like a speechwriter is rubbing his temples every single time the man speaks.
They've
Yeah, I mean, come on.
But I love the fact that they're like, well, that happened. Nobody tell him.
They've got to all be on drugs. And not just them. There's entire, rallies of people who listen to this. And now I've seen with their glazed over, pathetic eyes and everything, just watching this train wreck happen each time. It's just like, and then you get done with this thing, and you're still following him, and you're still willing to vote
and there's
for him.
Anybody who has half a brain in their head has that stabbing pain behind their eye.
I'm
just
literally
from
rubbing
listening.
my right temple right now. It's like, how is this even possible?
My favorite part is the fact that he literally is not speaking any known language to man. I don't know what he's saying.
It's word salad, yeah.
None of it makes any sense. It's not coherent.
The way he talks is common to drug addicts and alcoholics.
Yeah. Yeah, it does feel like
It's
his
common.
brain Swiss cheese.
Okay, that's fine. That's great. So he's giving these speeches, half of which make no sense, and the followers are still just eating it up.
Oh, they were. They were, too.
He says his, trigger words, and they, guns, and then And then at the same time, these followers are the same people who will scream at people in stores for not speaking American.
But they also, I think, are drug addicts and alcoholics.
So they understand him? Is
I
that
think
how
they
it
speak
works?
the same language. Yeah, it's like Sarah Palin. Sarah Palin's talked the same way. Now, I think Sarah Palin's an alcoholic personally. I don't have proof of that, but she did do a speech drunk.
I think she's just
Yeah,
not
yeah,
a very
yeah,
smart
yeah. Oh,
person
really?
who's
Yeah.
out of her depth, but
Yeah,
whatever.
no,
Like you're guessing because of the way she was speaking?
No, she was drunk. Yeah. No,
How do
there's,
you
there's
know?
no way. Well, because I'm a medical professional. I know what the fuck it looks like. Okay, I mean, the fact of the matter is, this is who they are.
Yeah.
And we've been...
Maybe she was confused because she
dumbing down their
reads
demographic
all
for-
the things.
They've been dumbing down their demographic for decades. They've
No, it's intentionally done. I know. I just find it so ironic that these people get so pissed off when people don't speak English, and at the same time,
they're not speaking English.
He's not speaking English. That's not English.
Oh my
It's
God.
infuriating.
No, they were all weaving like some sort of like, feeling the Holy Spirit in one of those weird churches.
Yes, it's a cult.
It's cult.
And you're
shit.
right. As soon as certain words come up, you see people go, "Yeah, he's singing my
Right.
song."
Oh
Like,
yeah.
he
They're a
hits
Free
those-
bird.
It's
He
a
hits those trigger words, and like that's literally they're probably in bold and like take up the whole teleprompter.
Yeah.
They're like, hit this word so your cult goes crazy.
yeah. They're a bumper sticker cult.
And all I was waiting the whole time was, when's he going to respond? When's he going to crack?
And no one told
Is
him.
he going to tweet? And it wasn't
Oh,
until
no.
11
He'd
o'clock.
lose it on the air. It would be insane. It would be
Melania
great.
will tell him when
And
she's tucking him in tonight.
Oh, God. Yeah, the
Trump smash.
I want to know whose job it was to tell him what happened. Because, God damn, to be a fly on that wall.
Maybe somebody posted it on Twitter, and that's
They-
how
they
we
probably
figured
Oh,
it
I'm
out.
sure. You're right. You're right.
they-
They probably did wait for him to just look at his phone.
They sacrificed an intern to him. That's what they did.
Oh,
Is
God.
They
I
just
feel like they probably do
the
that
guy's
on
like
the
no, and they shove him in the room.
It's on the regular.
No.
You can't leave till you tell him.
It was a speechwriter because he wants out.
He just
I wonder-
volunteered.
I wonder how many times they've covered up like somebody.
Please make it end.
I wonder how many times they've covered up somebody in the White House killing themselves, or
Oh, God.
you know what I'm saying? Like
Someone's got to make us.
like how many times somebody hung themselves with their belt or something in the White House, because it's got to be fucking awful.
So
Oh,
the
God,
tweet
I would
comes
not
out
wanna work there.
at 11 p.m. or right about, according to the article I read, it said about. I wish it gave more specifics, but anyway. And it's got this creepy Uncle Sam wants you to join the military kind of look to it, and it's heavily cloaked in shadow. And the first thing I'm thinking
Oh wait,
of,
you're talking about the meme he put up?
it looks like They Live, if anyone saw that movie, the obey kind of poster kind of thing. And his eyes are glowing white, but it's not his eyes. It's the bags under his eyes for whatever reason. No one decided to airbrush that. You know how he doesn't have the tan there? The spray tan doesn't get to the goggles? I don't know. So his bags under his eyes are glowing white. Any rate, so it says, in reality, they're not after me. They're after you. And he's trying to get everyone to take this as a personal attack. That it
So-
isn't him failing on a personal level.
This is
It's
how
the
he plans to
party.
start the Civil War when
I
he
saw
gets
right.
booted.
Like, look, I saw that on Twitter, and I'm like, fuck, that's a good one, because they're gonna get riled.
Oh,
over
He
it.
knows
yeah.
marketing.
He knows his idiots.
It was a good one. I have a hard time believing he came up with it on his own.
No way, no.
But
He might have.
it was a good one.
This is probably Stephen Miller. He's the one who's evil enough for this.
that
Stephen
guy.
Miller is like, he's like Satan's left testicle. Like, no, he looks like it too, right? Doesn't he look like a testicle?
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
he's fucking evil, man. So, of course, Reddit. I loved this one. Changed it to him sitting there. It looks like he's on a fucking toilet, and this is 10 to 15 flushes.
That's awesome.
So,
He'd probably lose his mind if he sees that.
oh, I hope he sees it. I hope it. I got it on my Twitter.
Tag him.
I should tag him.
Oh, my
Fuck
God.
that guy.
I'd love to see that response.
So, yeah, no, it's ridiculous. And then, yeah, like I was saying, douchebag Tulsi Gabbard votes president. But I thought she was bad.
Oh, yeah, I want to get to
And
that
then-
because that pissed me off. You want to talk about ridiculous. Every
I knew
Republican,
she'd do this.
100% of the Republicans, you'd think when it came down to the wire, somebody would show some
No,
balls
they're
because
ballless.
he's out. He's out. But he's not out. Oh, God.
He's not out. But not only did we have a couple of, well, we had one present, so just
Well,
no
I'll tell you
nutsack
this.
there.
Well, so in the first
And then-
charge.
And then we also had a couple of no's, right?
Yeah.
A Democratic no's.
That's what I'm saying. There's two
and
on
then
the first
someone
charge.
who's like, oh, I'll just join the GOP. Right?
Yeah, that was on the first charge.
I guarantee if this was anonymous, the numbers would have a fucking landslide.
Jeff Van Drew of New Jersey, from what I remember the reporter saying on air, said that he was planning to switch parties. I don't know how.
It's because his demographic, where he's from, is more Republican.
Or someone's paying him.
What
That's
they
probably
also
true.
said.
Or someone's got dirt on
Did
him.
you see that Jabba the Hutt motherfucker sitting on the screen with money hanging out of his pocket? Come on.
Actually, no, I didn't. But yeah, they also said the same about Cullen C. Peterson in Minnesota. Not that he's switching parties, but that Trump had heavily carried his area. And these people, if I'm reading this right, they're only worried about re-election. Yeah, they're cowards. They're cowards. Every Republican down the line voted one way.
Yeah.
And okay, I'm not
Also
saying we should be partisan. I'm not saying that. But when the evidence is overwhelming, it's been building, it's been in the news, none of this, there's no doubt on any of this.
And yet every single Republican voted no.
Right, and you have two Democrats
He's doing
on the
this
first
shit
charge.
on live TV, and they're like, nope.
And on the second one, you get a
He
new
basically
person
admits to
voting
this
nay,
shit.
and then no present. Fucking present. Okay, you have someone who bothered to show up, but didn't want to be pinned one way or another. Didn't want.
Oh no,
I
she
mean, what
said
is
she
that?
believed he was guilty.
Then
Hold on.
what the hell are you doing with a?
She is
a present?
pandering to the moderate base, thinking that they want him in office still.
Moderate doesn't mean doing nothing.
Yes, it does.
Oh God.
No, I mean, no,
It
really.
should mean common sense.
No, moderates are basically Republicans that wear the D. I mean, that's all it is. It's you're a Democrat because you don't like Trump or their values, but really you're a Republican.
So you're a dino.
Yeah, that's all it is. And it's because they don't have a good party right now, because the Republican Party is batshit insane. Like, I mean,
They have
seriously,
5 parties.
Can you imagine siding with those fucking psychos? I mean, but there are, and if you
Yeah,
meet,
you got
but when
teabaggers, you got Nazis,
but
you
when
got.
you meet a Republican, that's the thing. That's who they are. They're psychopaths. And so what are you going to do? Are you going to vote Republican with these psychopaths? You know your neighbor's a psychopath and they vote Trump. Can you possibly be, held on the same pedestal with them? No. It's ridiculous. These are cat stranglers. Okay, that's who the fuck Republicans are right now. They're insane. So what are you doing? You're voting for Tulsi. Great. Congratulations.
It's just, I'm so disappointed. I mean, I'm glad it carried, but the fact is I don't know.
It's not going to go anywhere, though.
That's
Like
the
I
thing.
said,
I
Mitch
didn't realize
McConnell-
this.
Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell is.
Does it work at Hogwarts?
I guess. Instead of turning into a cat, he turns into a rat.
Not a turtle?
No.
Turtles are too good for him.
He's infested with the plague. Darth Shittiest.
Okay, so I'm sorry. So you were saying.
So Mitch McConnell's just gonna block this shit. That's all he's gonna do. That's the thing. That motherfucker has to go. Democrats need to focus on getting rid of that son of a bitch. It's time for him to go. He has so little of the vote from his home state. Like, people don't like him. The only reason he has his job is because he gets funded by billionaires.
And gerrymandering.
And gerrymander, yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
He's got to go.
No, but I didn't realize that you could be found guilty of impeachment by the House, but the Senate is actually in charge of punishment, if
Yeah.
any.
Yeah, and I genuinely think that
if any being the key words there.
I think Trump could just walk down the street and shoot somebody, and they'll never get rid of him.
Apparently you can.
So that's who we are now.
Because, the Senate is largely Republican, and there's no way I see. If they didn't cross party lines on the first end, you think they're going to do it when it really comes down to it? I don't.
Corruption is just openly accepted now. That's who we are. That's it.
That's exactly it right there. This
And
is who we are.
That's the thing. If you don't check the powers, they just keep growing. And eventually, there's no point in having Congress. They don't understand it, but they're cutting their own throat.
This is a slide into authoritarianism. This is how it starts.
Yeah, because, I mean...
They're testing the waters to see if it's acceptable to the people that this happens. If we don't uprise over this, we're not going to uprise over
Oh, no,
anything.
it's not intentional, because in my...
It is. No, it's fucking intentional.
On his end, yes, but
No.
they're just lining their pockets. They're getting what they want.
No, that is not what's happening at all.
You think the senators want to be
This
rolled over
is the
by
founding of an insurrecting party. Yes, this is the founding of a party that plans to destroy this country from the inside. Yes.
When a person like that takes power, they don't take all their cronies
They
with them.
don't plan to keep him around. He's going to go. He's just a patsy.
He's a puppet.
Yeah. Once he's gone, they'll put somebody who with real evil in his place. Maybe Stephen Miller. Who
I
knows?
think people really overestimate their worthiness in such a regime.
Who worthiness? This is a group effort.
They're just lining their pockets while they can. They all know
That's
they're
what I'm
going
saying.
down
I
eventually.
think it's just pure greed, and they don't really think of the ramifications of this.
I think
They have to. How do you go through a day in your life without thinking of ramifications?
Because they're 80
There are
and they
no-
don't give a crap.
There
I
are
don't
no
know.
ramifications. They are the fucking judge, juries, and executioners. We can't do anything to them. There is nothing we can do.
They have millionaires, they have billionaires, they have corporations who are going, don't worry,
The
we've got you.
The attorney general is in their pocket. What are you going to do? There is nothing.
Also, I feel like we've proven time and time and time again that we're not going to do shit to anybody.
Oh, God.
Look at these people have gone on like freaking TV admitting that they're shit people doing shit things.
Yeah.
And we do nothing.
Yeah, I mean...
They've broken law after law since the fucking moment they took office.
The only
And
thing
we do nothing.
They've just stopped short of shoving it in our faces, honestly. They
have shoved it in our
I mean,
face.
like, I'm just expecting any day now that Jim Jordan's going to come around to my house and rub his ass in my face or something like that. I mean, because that's where we're at, right? I mean, they're going to come... He's going to come over your house and shit on your rug tomorrow. That's what's going to happen.
We know that he studied dictators, that he actually thinks
Admires
of them as...
them?
Yes,
but
thank
so did his voting base.
you. And now we're seeing a power play much like that. It's like,
Yeah.
I mean...
But Trump
but
isn't
the difference
smart enough
is
to keep it going on
his voters aren't studying anything, first of all. But they
Besides
want
his balls.
they want to be led in this way. They want an authoritarian
No,
leader.
they've wanted an authoritarian for a long time, but that's who Republicans are. Is they value a strong leader.
But
and
this
they
party
don't value
used to be
real
one
freedom.
of small government, and it's all bullshit now.
No, they're still small government. They just believe that they only need like
One person to rule over everything.
It's all military
Senate
and no
Congress
social
is
services.
just there to do the bidding of their dictator. That's what they believe in. Yes,
Good plan.
that is small government to them.
It's anti-American.
Even though it will cost
It
us
is
way
100%.
more.
It's a plot of V for Vendetta.
it is against everything this country
need V.
was built as.
Yeah, it's insane. They are traitors.
I really hope this is a hyperbolic conversation.
No, it is
I'm
not.
really fearful that it... Yeah, I'm fearful that it... Christ.
I once again
our
would
worst
like to
fears.
recommend the idea that maybe we made the wrong choice during the Civil War, and perhaps it's time for a divorce.
Oh, you mean...
Oh yeah, the
keeping
two-state
all
solution.
those states.
Yeah, it might be. It might be time for a two-state solution.
I say give them the middle. I want the coast.
I say give them Texas, and that's it.
Well, that's in the middle.
So
No, come on. There's
I
all
just-
kinds of room they can have near Texas.
But there's like all of I don't know, a couple hundred Republicans. It's all bullshit.
I just want the east and the west.
yeah, but
I
they
don't care about
they
the
count
middle.
all their farmland as
Right, all their
people.
cows get votes, right?
Right.
Yeah. So
Well, unfortunately, that's how we set it up. Yeah.
it's because at the time the vast majority of them couldn't read, so we assumed that they weren't voting properly. So we just voted for them.
Jesus Christ! At the time, it was to give like farmers and rural areas a voice.
Yes, because they were
It's not-
illiterate.
It's not the same world anymore, and the way that it's set up no longer suits
I agree.
what our country
It
has
is
grown
time
into.
to abolish the Electoral College, yes.
Yes, destroy it, burn it with
It
fire.
might be time to rework our entire political system because it no longer works properly.
This is correct as well. Clear. We have. If Trump has done anything good,
He's pointed out flaws.
he has fucking proven that.
Well, yeah, I mean,
The
up till
system is
now
broken.
we had a certain
It
amount
is
of
not just
decency.
broken. It is battered and beaten and falling apart and hanging on by a
Well,
thread.
it's
He
like-
exploited every little crack and hole.
Well,
Every one of them.
What was the...
And he stuck his dick in them.
George Washington only served 2 terms.
That's
and
the
from that
best
point forward...
description I've heard.
Oh, my God. So, every president has only served 2 terms until, what was it, FDR who served 4?
Yeah.
Okay. After that happened, they were like, maybe we should pass a law. Because... And
Even though they loved him.
yeah, I get that. But my point is that it could always be turned against you. You can end up with like cult of personality, and then Trump comes in, and all of the stuff that we thought were laws were just
Guidelines.
that every
suggestions.
single president in existence had followed until him.
Because they had some tiny little shred of decency in them,
Also,
and Trump doesn't.
stuff that are laws.
None of the Republicans have any decency.
He's proven are somehow unenforceable. Why did I say that so weird? But I don't know. but like releasing his tax records, that separating himself from his
just
business.
a suggestion. No,
No, that was law.
And here's my proposal for this whole thing. To become a president, you should have to lay your life bare. Okay, you should have to be submitted to your taxes inspected. We should make sure you've never broken a real law. Felons should be exempt from becoming president.
I believe they are.
You should be.
If you've been caught,
there should be no misconduct, with businesses and everything. Because all of Trump's blatant fraud history, in his businesses and everything. And I think we should drug test you as well. I mean,
I'm for all that.
If a laborer,
that's pointless. It's pointless.
What are you talking about?
Because somebody like Trump has 30 doctors lined up prescribing him a whole bunch of shit. It doesn't matter.
Could it be fake urine? Yeah, who's to say?
No. It's all valid. He takes a drug test. He can verify every drug that's in his urine.
That's fine. But the thing is, if any of those drugs are mind-altering, you should be exempt. You should just be like, nope, we can't. You can't be president.
Yeah, but who's the independent party? I mean, how do you prove that it was collected properly and everything?
What do you mean? Like, I'm sure he's on prescription drugs.
Sure, and it looks like it's causing dementia issues. So he's definitely mind-altered.
I don't think you can rule people out by their medications.
Yeah, why not? I can't drive a car because of certain medications. If you can't drive a car because of certain medications, you shouldn't be able to.
If you're infirm, you can't be deposed.
You can't. You shouldn't be able to be president. If a drug is...
That's a fuzzy line, man.
What are you talking about? No, the fuck it isn't. If I can't drive a fucking tow motor, you can't be president.
We actually do have rules for that, but
that's what I'm
good luck proving it is the thing.
But that's what I'm saying, though, is you want to be president, submit your urine. Oh, your urine says that you've got mind-altering drugs. You can't be president. How was it collected? You know what? Pee on camera. I don't give a fuck.
Oh, Jesus.
You wanna, dude, if you want to question it, we can do it right here in front of everybody.
No. My concern
this is
important.
Not...
I hear you. Just
somebody with, like, back issues should still be able to be president. You know what I'm saying?
That's fine, unless the drugs are mind-altering. You can't exactly be
a
president on tramadol. I
don't know what that is.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Dude, when you're doing a certain amount of painkillers or anything like that, there's a lot of drugs out there that cause mental infirmment. You can't be a president if you're... Look at him. He's got fucking word salad. There's
I know
no
that.
doubt that there's a drug issue here.
I'm not saying that Trump is fit to be president, but I'm saying that just because somebody's taking a medication for pain...
You know damn well that there are medications that alter your state of
Okay,
mind.
so you'd have to...
Yes.
We'd have to specify a very careful list.
What the fuck I'm talking about.
And that's what I'm saying, is this is a fuzzy line.
About half your senators and congressmen are on other drugs anyways, like fucking coke.
And that's the problem, is that you get somebody like Trump, and you don't pay attention locally. I mean...
Well, no, definitely we need to take this country back on a local level. For a long time, I've been saying that we need to gentrify the countryside. That we need to liberals need to take over the countryside and get our votes spread out a little more.
So instead of raising chickens in the city, go to where the chickens are?
Yeah, make a cute little
we just don't want to
town.
do that because we'll be murdered and stuff.
No, they'll love us. We'll bring all kinds of cutesy things, and then we'll raise the property values so high they won't be able to afford to live there. So
I don't know, man.
And then the Republicans will be able to slowly push the Republicans away because they won't be able to afford that.
I have complained about the cold plenty of times, and I keep getting told that I can't move south unless I'm planning on wiring my jaw shut because somebody will kill me.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm a pro-guns liberal, so, come on my porch with your bullshit. See what happens. I'm just saying, I will defend myself.
That sounds like a bumper sticker somewhere.
What's
I used my Second Amendment to protect my First Amendment.
Yep.
I guarantee you that bumper sticker exists somewhere.
Well, hey, look, I'm no gun nut, okay? I don't own that many, but I do believe that you're going to have to defend yourself against people who do believe in the Second Amendment. So...
Yeah.
That is the America you live in. So, and I've even sold other liberals on this right. Until all guns are gone, we have to consider the fact that we as liberals need guns ourselves. So they have declared that a civil war is in order, and we have to take that threat seriously. and we have to arm up and defend ourselves. Go learn how to shoot. Learn how to properly take care of a weapon and how to store it properly so your children don't get into it, because they sure as hell aren't. So, I'm not joking. I'm not messing around with this. I've seen 3 threats today of a civil war.
Really?
So
What? From
yeah,
who?
on Twitter. Yeah, people just openly Reddit too. Oh my God, Reddit. And then they're
Like
like,
Trump
"Oh,
supporters?
that's not what I'm saying." They're trying to be facetious, but they don't understand what facetious is. So they'll outright say something and be like, "No, I'm not saying that." And it literally says that in your comment, you fucking idiot.
Do they spell it feces?
I'm not being feces-ish. Yeah, you're that too. But no, the fact. Look, it's a fact. This is where it's all going. You know.
Another civil war?
I mean, I don't want it to or anything like that, and I do think Meal Team 6 isn't as big a threat as they'd like us to believe. You know.
You know what this means? They're going to bring back the Confederate flag.
Bring back.
Bring back. It never left.
And they carry the Nazi flag too, and tiki torches.
What is the
Tiki
Nazi
torches.
flag? You mean like the swastika or something?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
I didn't know if there was some new flag I wasn't aware
this
of.
isn't it. This is who they are. And then they go around giving that,
They
inverted
should
okay
just change
symbol.
the orange and blue with the stars. Just change it into the swastika.
Oh,
Be
God.
real.
Just put a
That
swastika. Well,
probably exists.
I've actually seen Confederate flags with swastikas in place of stars. So, if you weren't already awful enough, you're
Mhm.
gonna
Wow.
go and
Just making the connection here.
Rule 34 applies to hate too, apparently.
so.
You can conceive of it. It exists.
All right, so enough about lump. Let's go on to a few other things. A vegan couple has been charged with first-degree murder after their 18-month-old son starved to death on a diet of only raw fruit and vegetables.
Wow.
I don't drag my kids into my bullshit diets. Occasionally I do diet because I want to be healthy or what have you. Of course, I'm not sure I could do vegan. I do like meat. But I don't know.
Fruits and vegetables? How did he starve to death?
Malnutrition.
Yeah.
He wasn't eating?
You need meat and proteins and stuff like that.
I mean,
How small is this child?
18 months, so.
18 months,
Oh,
yeah.
yikes, that's young. Yeah.
Well, this isn't
milk
the
or
first I'm
something.
hearing of this. Well, it's a little off topic, but not. I keep seeing articles like on this one Facebook group I'm on, and it keeps talking about, and apparently it's more common than I realize because I keep hearing the hate responses, but it's yelling at people who are feeding their cats a vegetarian diet.
Yes, cats weren't meant for that. Grow up.
They're totally predatory. Look at their mouth. I mean,
Yes.
they don't eat broccoli. I mean, I had a cat that, when I was younger, actually did, and like one followed around and it thought it was awesome, but it wouldn't live on that. Okay, it's
Okay, so for a little bit, I went to a minimalist meat diet. I still ate whatever, as much as I wanted till I was full and everything. But I had a very small amount of meat each day. I had almost no carbs or anything like that. But it was, fruits and vegetables and a little bit of meat. And I think I lost 30 pounds in a month
okay.
doing it that way.
Yeah, because meat is
Fuck
calorically
off.
dense.
But I ate as much as it took to fill me up. I was never hungry or anything like that. But I just dropped weight because it's not
'Cause
enough to
it's fruit and
survive on.
vegetables.
No, we
no,
did-
fruit actually makes me gain weight. All by itself.
Really?
Yep,
Huh, must be the sugars.
it is. And it's sugars and carbs. But an 18-month-old should have still been doctor's visits. Nobody knew this kid was
You're not
malnourished.
Well, they're
bound
probably
to taking your
anti-vaccine,
kid to the
too.
doctor. You're not forced to do that. Nobody makes you.
You
I mean,
should.
there had to have been signs that this kid was sick.
Well,
Well, when you're like this, you have to be right all the time. So you're not going to go around people who tell you you're wrong. You know what I'm saying?
I know not every vegetarian's this way because I've seen fat vegetarians before, but most of them are really skinny.
I've been
So
a
by
vegetarian
comparison-
multiple times in my life. I wasn't overly skinny. There's a difference between vegan and vegetarian, though.
That's true.
Look, it's a personal choice, and you have
It is.
you
but
have to be consenting, full-grown adult of able mind to make life decisions of this kind. And an 18-month-year-old does not qualify,
but it's
nor
no-
does a cat.
It's no different than a cult, though, with some of these people. And I'm not saying just specifically vegans.
It's
There's-
torture.
There's a
That's
lot
a
of these
bit of a
lifestyle
stretch.
choices or what have you where they are fully convinced that the way they're living is the correct way, even though it's not in any way normal.
My thought is just that when you're when you're applying your diet to a child so young, talk to your fucking doctor first.
Right.
Their doctor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
but
don't.
a doctor will often tell you that vegan is not a healthy diet for
Not for a toddler.
an adult even. And so when they're telling you that
Okay,
your
no.
lifestyle's
That's
wrong,
not true. Here's the
that
thing.
is true.
No.
Vegan is not healthy.
Listen, it depends on how you apply the diet to yourself.
It's very difficult.
There are ways to make those diets healthy. First of all, your average American diet that has meat in it, not fucking healthy at all.
Well, no, I'm
Not because of
the
the
average
meat.
American diet isn't healthy.
The
because
average
eat too
American
much
diet
meat.
is shit.
we have no idea how to eat properly.
Right.
And it's a lot of it's processed and yada yada. I get
Exactly. Now, that's your average American. You can have a vegetarian diet that is also shit. You want to
that.
know
Sure.
what
Potato
is
chips are vegan.
Doritos are gluten-free. Oreos are dairy-free and often vegan. So, yeah, I mean, you can be a vegan or vegetarian and have a completely shit diet.
What is
But
the
you
cr-
can also, huh?
I was just wondering what the cream is made of then.
I don't think we want to know.
The stuff.
But the thing is, you can also make those diets healthier. But I don't know that strictly fruits and vegetables with no kinds of like beans or anything is the way to go.
Here's the thing. Okay. Like,
Especially with a small child. There should no
even if they're given
dairy,
vitamins.
no milk, no what was he?
I don't know. I
They
don't know
found that
what they were giving the child, but obviously it wasn't right.
No, and you shouldn't really do that with a small child without talking to their freaking doctor first.
They found that many vitamins, not all, but many of the vitamins don't have at all what is listed. Some had
Yeah.
none of what is listed.
Yeah,
Right.
supplements are unreliable.
And even if it has 100% exactly what they say and nothing else, you get the best possible vitamins from the most
You still
reputable
only
people.
retain so
Your
much of
body is only able to absorb so much at a time.
it. Right.
So, yeah, even though
Well,
it says
and-
you're taking your dose, your body's not getting that dose.
And I knew a vegan who wouldn't take most of the supplement pills because the capsules were made with gelatin, which is
Bone meal.
bone meal. So they were out on that
Yeah.
Yeah.
because it's about protecting the animal and not about being healthy.
Yeah, and how much beans do you have to eat to get the protein? I mean,
They're
the-
actually pretty rich in protein, but if this kid was eating just fruits and vegetables, was he even getting beans?
I don't know. I
Was
don't
he
know
getting
how they
nuts?
look, I don't know
Was he
how they
getting any kind of fats and proteins?
Unfortunately, in reporting, they don't often give the details in a proper way. Like they didn't say fruits, vegetables, and beans, but it could have been beans. I don't fucking know. But
Oh.
will an 18-month-old eat beans? I don't. That could be an issue too. Is you
They're
know,
picky.
and that kid's like, I want meat, and they're not giving it.
how many kids do you know refuse to eat what you give them? They want pizza, hot dogs, or macaroni
But
and
a
cheese.
kid that's never
And-
had those things wouldn't necessarily know that.
Well, I get that, but I'm saying is that they're very selective, and you try and force them to eat right or put the right stuff in front of them, and it's a fight. And half the time you give in from like, fine, have a hot dog. When
If
it's
they
not,
even
when you
know
don't
wh-
have meat,
If
what
they
is the
even
one
know
thing
what
they're
that
eating?
is.
Are they eating nuts? Are they eating beans? Even if you offer it, they might refuse it. So, yeah,
Oh, my kid used to hide peas, like.
But like even like cereals, is he getting Cheerios? Is he getting?
how? You can't drink
It
milk.
doesn't.
What are you going to put?
No,
water,
no.
soy on it?
No,
No,
I
toddlers eat
have
'em-
known people who
Almond?
Well,
They
I
eat 'em
use
dry.
almond milk because I'm allergic to milk products, so I use almond milk personally. I don't know how they milk an almond, but it's good. So,
I use almond milk as well.
but I
honestly,
have seen
cow
water
milk
on
creeps me out.
Cheerios, which is weird.
Oh, my
but-
God.
Little children eat Cheerios dry.
No, I know. Well, I still eat Cheerios dry. I love me some Honey Nut Cheerios.
So, but the bottom line is that it doesn't sound like
Endorses
this
Cheerios.
kid was getting those things. We don't know the facts of the case, but the bottom line is that, Jesus Christ, check with your kid's doctor before you do stuff like
Look,
that.
I don't care how morally averse you are to the fact that it takes up water and land and methane farts and everything else, and how horribly they're tortured and how badly run the businesses are and how much food is being wasted. Or the fact that you have to use your frying pan, that you like to wok, a bunch of broccoli and different things in a stir-fry vegetarian whatever, fried salad basically, and you don't want to use that pan to cook meat for your kid. People take better care of pets. Okay? They really do. I don't care about your objections. I don't care how bad it smells. I don't care what you think about it. You need to feed your kid.
You sacrifice for your children. Your children shouldn't sacrifice for you. It's that simple.
I mean, I don't have kids. I know I'm talking out of my ass, but
I'm
it's
sure they thought they were doing something good for their kid, but I
But
mean,
that's the
there should have
problem
been
with all this.
signs that.
If anything, we need to start going after
That's like
these
anti-vaxxers.
online cult fads and stuff like that. Like, you know,
Veganism isn't a cult fad.
some of it is, yes. And I'm not saying general veganism, the idea of it, but there are literal like vegan gurus and stuff like that.
Some people go nutty.
And they're trying to say, but
There's extremists in every group. There are extremists in
It's the
every
same thing
group.
with anti-vax. These are scams that you've been dragged into. You know, the science denial shit is all. It's all bullshit scams you're getting dragged into by people trying to make money off of you. Take our supplement. Do our homeopathic thing.
That's fine.
Homeopathy is bullshit.
My point here is just that not all veganism is bad because this occurred. This occurred because, I mean, honestly, it feels kind of senseless. Like, if your kid's not doing well, if they're looking like dying from malnutrition.
Yeah, you should do everything you can.
That seems like a long process.
Right.
Take your kid to the fucking doctor. You know what I'm saying? Talk to your doctor about their diet. You can tell if they're not eating.
From dying of malnutrition to dying in a jail cell.
okay.
Jail video surveillance from Jeffrey Epstein's first suicide attempt in July is missing, prosecutors say.
Oh, interesting.
So maybe foul play?
Bullshit, maybe?
Maybe he didn't kill himself?
I mean, was that really a maybe?
Well, the problem with the Jeffrey Epstein conspiracy theory is that on one side we have the people blaming the Clintons, which there's no doubt that Jeffrey and Bill knew each other.
Okay.
That's not a doubt. Jeffrey knew everybody. He was trying to put money in the pockets of just about anybody to get political sway.
So
Okay.
he knows politicians. Great.
He also partied with Trump on the reg.
Okay.
So there was even some question at one point as to whether he got him Melania.
If
So
you what?
if he got Trump Melania.
Oh. Oh,
Now,
you mean
I
out of the
don't-
catalog?
I don't necessarily. I'm sure that there's something in there, but I'm not sure necessarily that that's involved. But I do know that I was reading about the Trump escort service website being taken down the day after Jeffrey went down and got caught. So,
But did he leave his initials like he signed off on it? Did he get a commission? I mean, like, why would they take that down?
probably because that's where they were getting the girls was from Jeffrey. So,
I don't know. From what I heard of it, I mean, it just sounded like that's what they do in that country and whatever. I mean,
that's what they do in what country?
I don't remember. Eastern Europe. Put me on the spot, why don't
They
you,
do
Loki?
human trafficking in that country?
Well, they made it sound like it was people in poverty who elected to do this as a way of moving up in station.
I don't know. It sounds like a fancy way of saying that they are financially pressured into
I mean, it's
human trafficking.
it's basically, you know, if you call marriage prostitution, you know, it's kind of, yeah.
So how gross?
It's a
how
little
gross is this concept that these wealthy, disgusting pigs are using their position and their money to manipulate poor people into having sex with them? Isn't it just fucking creepy?
Who are we talking
It's not
about?
new.
Jeffrey Epstein with the human trafficking thing, and
Yeah.
Trump by proxy.
Yeah, obviously they're disgusting.
Because I think that this was just if Jeffrey had not, quote unquote, committed suicide, we'd probably have a lot of people going down. But of course, I was almost certain that there was no way he was making it to trial. There's no way he was ever going to give. In fact, as soon as he went down, I'm like, oh, he's dead. Like immediately, I knew that they were going to kill him. I knew somebody was going to kill him.
You know, if they get a divorce, I want to see that tell-all book.
She can't divorce him. He'll kill her.
I agree.
He's not going to be president forever.
Oh no, she's going to accidentally fall out a window or something like that. I mean, that's not how it works.
She's counting down the minutes, man. That dude ain't got long.
Oh yeah. That's why she's okay with all the cheeseburgers. I'm sorry.
She's probably buying them for him.
Cheeseburgers. So, yeah, no, that's and Diet Coke.
Man, okay.
Why you drinking? Like, who voluntarily drinks Diet Coke when they're already that gross and?
What, okay, totally aside, having to do with nothing, but Diet Coke isn't really diet. because it has I forget the chemical in it, but it actually causes you to be more hungry.
Aspartame.
Yeah, because the pop itself might be better than regular pop, but what
lower
you do,
calorie.
yeah, but what you end up doing as a result, more than negates it.
Like, I'm not a cola person. I think colas are disgusting.
You don't see many thin people drinking it.
But yeah, Diet Coke is exceptionally disgusting. So,
I don't drink soda.
but anyways, I mean, imagine this fat pig, you know, hitting up Epstein for women. I mean, it's just like, I don't know. It's skeevy. It's disgusting. Even if they agreed to this, the whole thing is
Yeah, I don't
is
honestly
disgusting.
don't know. Everything I hear is from, either docs, news items, or just random hearsay. So
There
I
was
don't
sources
really
saying
know.
that, like, the women that were hired for, like, their parties and stuff, half of them are underage.
Yeah, that's the other thing. And it's just like, but Epstein's dead, so it's never gonna,
Right.
go anywhere. I mean, he could have probably gotten like a cushy ass sentence for all the people that I'm certain he knows were involved. So
I just don't know why that's a thing. Like,
why? What's the
why
thing? Human trafficking?
Underage, like, blah,
Because rich people are creeps.
blah.
So, period. So I don't know. I definitely think there's a conspiracy there, but we're never.
You could
gonna
be
get to
right, but I mean, like, from everything that I heard about the guy, it could be anybody. I mean, when he's in jail, there'd be a lot of people afraid that he would roll over and mention names. And
I think it's Trump, plain and simple.
I'm not saying
his
you're
fixers
wrong.
Did this.
I'm just saying is that as many accusations have been associated with that guy.
If we wanted to know, we'd know. You know what I'm saying? But
That's what I'm saying. It
somebody's
sounds
making
like
sure.
he probably had dirt on a lot of people.
Right. I mean, and then there was the guard that was dismissed and everything. That guy's fucking rich. I bet you he's got a ton of money in a bank account now. This was a hit job, plain and simple.
I don't feel like anybody doubts that. I think that the only thing that people question is who did
Who's
it.
behind it, right? And that's what I'm saying is I think that we need to corner those guards, drag them in and start beating up on this. Get the questions answered, because I think they'll flip eventually. They're the weak point in the link, though. They're the weak link in
They'll
the chain.
disappear.
Who the hell's going to prosecute?
I don't know.
Trump's never leaving.
We have no justice left in this country, so it's hard to say. That's the thing. This is at one time. This would have been a hopeful situation. We could have been like, we know where we can go. We know who we can talk to. We know how to go ahead with this.
There's been like 87 things that would bring down a normal president.
And yeah,
this is your smoking gun.
We're in a place. You need a smoking cannon to even put a dent in this.
I feel like you literally need a dead body on the lawn of the White House,
and even then, yeah, they'll be like, "Oh, this is who we are now."
Or they would just say,
that dude deserved it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He was
Like,
a criminal.
he jumped the fence or something.
He committed suicide.
Not even white. I mean, come on.
There's 10 bullet holes in his back. He committed suicide. That's who we are now. So.
We thought he had a gun.
And we just came up with the name of the episode. So this is who we are now.
I got to believe
Good
that
point.
the old adage is true, even though I so don't believe it as I'm saying it. But the arc of justice is long. And you just got to hope to God that they're just dragging it. No.
Justice isn't
I'm
real.
not talking about karma.
Karma's
I'm not talking
not
about
real.
karma. I'm not talking about justice because that's a man-made concept. No, I'm talking about the people who can prosecute are just dragging ass, getting
You're
everything
talking
together.
about hope.
They're not left. There's no people who can.
You're talking
left.
about hope. You gotta hope every once in a while. You gotta hope.
Oh,
that
I'm
the good
hopeful
guys
for our
will have
kids'
a win.
generation.
They might not win the whole thing, but you gotta hope that they can have a win.
My hope is in cheeseburgers. I am hopeful.
It takes out one problem.
No,
There's a whole slew.
I mean, come on. McConnell does not look like the healthiest motherfucker on the planet.
He's not
He's
the
looked like that
only
way
one.
for 15 years.
Yeah,
That's
he
true,
has.
that's
Yeah,
true.
he's been
Nothing's changed.
He's been a fucking raisin for forever.
You've got
Has
Trump,
he got one
Pence,
more neck wrinkle?
McConnell, Betsy DeVos, Stephen Miller. I'm
Well-
forgetting some.
Well,
Wait.
new president clears all that.
Pence might take himself out with some autoerotic asphyxiation. So that might we're gonna
Alright.
find him
So
choked
we
in his
grasp
closet.
onto that little
You
straw
know,
of
that
hope.
fingers crossed, right? So, I don't know, man. Fucking McConnell's like Skeletor. He's already dead. So he might. We don't. That's not even.
There's
a
still a
thing.
Koch brother left.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Well, I think he's got a demon pact sustaining him. So
And he
as long
probably
as
speaks to his brother on the other side.
yeah, as long as he sacrifices a homeless child every so often, he stays going for another year or something like that.
And then DeVos is.
Betsy DeVos eats those homeless children, so that's what keeps her going. So, yeah, this is kind of hopeless.
Like a big circle.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't
You're
know if
right.
I'm ever going to live past all these
All
people.
hope is gone.
I know, right? Yeah, and that's why they have the whole border thing where they're keeping children to feed this whole
Makes sense now.
economy
it makes
of
sense
young
now.
souls. So that's who they are. They're fucking vampires. Where's Buffy when you need her?
See, this is why I hate politics.
Seriously.
It's so goddamn depressing.
It is depressing. It's a little
All right.
depressing.
Well, I'm done depressing you guys. Get back to work. Next time.